Footy's back. That's right. That sound can only mean one thing. This is Footy Unfilterated. I am your host, James Clements. I am absolutely flying. The NBA season's over. I'm just like staring into the abyss of nothing but footy, and it feels great. And with me on the other side of this here screen is everyone's favourite, what is that, a John Starks jersey? It's a
Derrick Rose jersey.
Oh, Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose, New York Knicks.
That's pretty good. It is everyone's favourite, apparently, out of nowhere, Knicks fan. It's Jez. Jez, what's going on?
I saw a bandwagon and just had to hop on it. No, I obviously didn't have much luck at the G on Saturday, so I thought I'd jump on a winner for once. But I actually took the dog for a walk after my black and white dog, so I had the San Antonio Spurs dog, and I thought, I'll wear this jersey. There were dudes like yelling at me from cars, waving their fists, going, "Yeah, let's go Knicks." I'm like, "No worries, buddy. No worries." So awesome. I got a lot of love wearing this jersey, Jim, and I was feeling a bit down after Saturday's piss poor effort by the Bombers, and thought I'll chuck it on and make myself feel like a winner. So, but how good was that? I know you'll go into it more on NBA Australia, but I was I watched this, the first full game I watched, and all I was thinking was, I don't care who wins, because I get to see the Knicks do something remarkable, and if they lose, I get to see them possibly do something else remarkable. So I was winning all day Sunday.
I love that.
But yeah, all I can say is now that we don't have NBA or NFL, thank God we've got some footy.
I've got some pretty funny stuff at some point. I'll have to... Still unconfirmed, but it's going to be pretty funny if it does happen for later in the season. But the John Starks, I think he was 3. I think Larry Johnson was 2. And I think Pacome Dadier might have been number 4 at one point as well. Love a bit of Dadier. Not to be confused with the legend, Howard Isley, as well, I think was a number 4 back in the olden days for the Knickerbockers.
He was a number 4.
It's pretty good. But anyway, this is Footy Unfilterated, not NBA Australia. What are we doing? We're going to wrap up round 14 for you. We've got the weekly awards, some year nars, the round 15 preview and picks, all the good stuff. So, first things first, I just want to send everybody a memo and just let them know that this is round 15, because we're going to send some memos. We'll talk about that in a second. So, let's dig into it. It's footy without the bull. It's Footy Unfilterated. Oh, yeah, we timed that one pretty well there, Jez. Don't mind it when that comes together. I'll tell you what, the AFL...
It's like we've done it before.
Yeah, I mean, we're well ahead of the AFL as well, because they can't seem to schedule anything properly. Want to start there, shall we? Because if you, like every other true blue, red-blooded Australian on Sunday, wanted to watch... I don't know, the national team play soccer, you'd be well within your right. And considering the game started at 2 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon, you think this should be pretty easy.
Great timing.
The AFL went, you know what? Let's schedule 2 games to overlap with that Socceroos game to ensure that not many people watch or go. Like, this is just... stunning planning on behalf of the AFL once again, which doesn't come as a surprise. But at the same time, look, I understand that like broadcast deals are broadcast deals, and you got to have games at some point. But I am absolutely sure that no one cares about the 6 o'clock news. I love that TV is still like, but we need to have a lead into the news. You know who watches the telly news? No one. Like, genuinely no one. Like, it's just...
That's what
are we doing?
These things here, this is my wife too. This is where you get your news.
That's it.
This is where you get your news. When you don't want it, you get it here.
That's absolutely chaos. But anyway. So, yeah, 2 games going up against the Socceroos. It was chaos. Even I was at the Community Cup on Sunday afternoon following the NBA Finals Game 5. Even that was a tough schedule for me. I'm like, what's that, a 10:30 finals start. And then by the time it wraps up with all the, the hullabaloo after it because the Knicks go on to win, you're like, oh, I don't have much time to get over to the game. This sucks, and made it over. And just as I got out of
the... You didn't stay and watch every single player and member of staff get interviewed whilst holding the Larry O'Brien trophy? You didn't watch the hour and a half of that afterwards?
I'm usually all about that, but I had somewhere to be.
No, me neither.
So I'm just like, I got to get out of here. I got out of the car on Johnston Street, and as I'm walking to Vic Park, the old home ground of the Collingwood Magpies, the pub, so Bodrigi Brewing Company, it erupts, and I'm like, oh,
hey, love Bodrigi.
It's like, oh, I think we scored. And then you could tell that the other bar across the road, its feed was lagging because it went off as I walked past again. And then as I turned the corner, you could hear different apartments in the apartment building right there opposite the servo going off as well. I'm like, wow, these feeds are all over the shop, but that's great. It did feel like I was being cheered just for walking to the Community Cup, and I'm like, this is great. I do appreciate it, but come on. I didn't win an NBA title or score a World Cup goal today, but it was great. And speaking of which, the real big game from the weekend, obviously the Community Cup, won by the Rock Dogs. Go the Rock Dogs. Even though as a
nice
music media member over the years, I probably should be going for the megahertz, but they never asked me to play, so they can go blow it out their nose. And I've got mates who play on the Rock Dogs, so I don't really care. And also they had the Rock Dogs Pie Night here in Brunswick a few years ago. Old mate was up in Sydney. The second squid hadn't been born yet, so I guess the oldest one was probably only 3, maybe 2 and a bit, 3. Took him along to the pub for the Rock Dogs Pie Night. He saw a couple of bands. He saw some Rock Dogs cheerleaders. Nice. He was rocking out to some AC/DC. And they gave him a free scarf. And I'm like, hell yeah, we're Rock Dogs for life after this. This is awesome. So he loves it.
That's how you win them over, free stuff.
That's it. And just quickly, I mean, there's not a giant amount of other news really this week. It's kind of one of the weird ones. We don't have a giant amount of bizarre weirdness coming out of a weekend of footy. But we did, like, the AFL can't let anything lie. So Greg Swan had to send out a memo. I love a good memo. It's like 1970s facsimiles. Here's a memo.
I wonder if he posted it.
Maybe. Just on the chalkboard down
it's still in the mail.
I love it. 6 things. Kicking over the man on the mark. On your shots for goal after sirens, etc. You can't go over your line. Or around the man on the mark. You can't improve your angle to the goals. So they're like, no, we got the Nick Watson one right from a few weeks back. Like, this seems like a lot of covering one's own rear end at this point. But I do get it. It's a set shot. But they basically are saying you can deviate. You don't have to run in the exact straight line, but you can't improve your angle and essentially go off the line. So, yeah, bit of an interesting one there.
I'd be interested to find what their current thoughts are on how Buddy Franklin was allowed to basically start in level 2 and run around an obstacle course before he ran in for goal.
Serpentine.
And that was somehow allowed. And now we've got Nick Watson, who even in that instance ran around a bee's diaphragm, and that's not allowed. So
it's crazy.
If you look up consistency in the dictionary, Jim, the AFL is nowhere near it.
No, it's all right. We've got a new CEO though. We've got a new footy boss, and he's sorting it all out by sending out memos. We do have. I did like the one that they're like, boundary line shenanigans. We are going to have a much lower tolerance for pushing, bumping, and tackling over the fence, all over the line, right? So I think, my old brain is like over the fence because it'll go right to the edge. We did have, I think, Sam Walsh got slung into a fence 2 weeks ago for the Blues, and you're like, ooh, that should be a free, and it was, and you're like, ooh, I can't believe they actually gave that. That was kind of nice. But
quickest and easiest way to stop it.
Exactly. So I like that they sort of at least highlighted that. And outside of that, they're sort of like they sent around some more examples of high contact. I like that where it's 2026 and we're sending around examples of like, this is a high contact free kick. And you're like, yeah.
Was it like, this is high, this is higher?
Yeah, he's ducking into
This is okay.
Yeah. Don't grab a bloke around the neck, even if he is going low, I think, and we're all good. Umpire contact was another point of emphasis. You got to put the emphasis on the right syllables here. So the umpire contact, obviously we've got Gold Coast being fined 50 grand. The first team, I think, to cop that. There was 4 teams that were on blast about it as well. So I think it was the Pies, Gold Coast, a couple of others. And the other one was, I found pretty interesting. The last one that was in the memo was the pushing other players into a stoppage. Basically to clear your man out and just give him a shove into a stoppage, and you're like, oh, all right. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that was such a big problem, but
okay,
here we are. So, I don't know. Were these at the top of your mind, Jez, this week when you came out of that round of footy needing some clarification? Yeah, nah.
It was all I could think about, Jim. I couldn't think about anything else other than those 6 things that were on the memo that I received in the post on Thursday this week.
Chaos. I love it.
I just what I don't understand is why we even have a rule book when they're making it up as they go along.
Yeah, week on week we're changing.
What's the point? It's just crazy. This week, we're going to be focusing on all of those 6 things. And then when Jared Waitley and his Dork squad decide to point out another 6 things, let's get to that. We better focus on these 6 things. They're so reactive to the media furor. It's getting beyond ridiculous because it was already at that. It's just funny now.
My favourite thing from this week was someone pointing out that Jared Waitley is only 51.
Yeah,
I had the exact response, and I might have turtlenecked out of absolute shock. Like I might have touched cloth. I'm like, he is the world's oldest 51-year-old, if that's the case. Like, what are we doing here? Remarkable.
The real question is, how many times did he get shoved head first into a wheelie bin at high school?
Well, what do you mean at high school? I think it was at AFL 360 by Robbo. Like,
just get me a stat on that one, Chew Man.
There was actually
speaking of another story that's not a story. Yeah, those two haven't spoken since.
That's not a surprise. Having met Robbo, I'm like, he's certainly an acquired taste, and you can't imagine that he's like the world's tightest with Jared. But anyway, right, that's it. I'm done with that. Let's do some little bits and bobs about injuries and reports. Paul Curtis got 3 weeks. I think they're still currently arguing this, aren't they, at the moment at the tribunal?
I believe so. I'll have a quick look.
They were saying that it was negligible,
update, but I think
low impact on a bloke that you concussed. I don't know how that works, but whatever. All right, and then injuries, Jez. 2 of your Dons. Archie Roberts hurts his shoulder tackling Cozzy. That was no good, and it looks like his season is done. They're going to talk to a surgeon. He might not need surgery, but why would you come back? I don't know. What do you reckon?
Nah, no point coming back now. For what? To play in another half a dozen losses, maybe. Just hold out for pick 1.
Yeah, I think you guys got that one in the bag. Kyle Langford was another one. I think he hurt his quad.
Or heartstring, either. If his quad heals, hopefully it helps his decision making, but I doubt it.
I like it. There's a couple of other ones. Luke Pedler, the fan favourite. Love him on the Crows, out 3 to 4 weeks. Same as Harrison Petty for the D's. He hurt his hammies at least 3 weeks, I think, as well. Some good news, though, like Sarong for the Dockers, Caniglio, Libba. They could all be back this week. It doesn't look like the Blues are going to get Wiedering back, though, this week, which sucks because it means the GWS Tools are going to absolutely towel us. So, I'll tell you one thing for free, though. My favourite thing about this week of footy, There is sometimes nothing better than a bye. Usually, you can't lose a bye. So that's good. So our win streak continues for the Blues. But I very much would have liked Wiedering to be back. It is worrisome that he is not. So, yeah, it sort of stinks. Anyway, well, you've got the bye this week as well, Jez. So you're just like, hey, footy belly exists. I can just sort of revel in not losing. It's great.
But one week of the year where I'm guaranteed not to lose. Bring it on.
Love it. All right. Quickly, the round 15 wrap. We'll just fly through these ones. There's only a couple of close ones. You had the Dogs get smoked by Adelaide. Absolutely smashed. 121-64. This was just brutal. Right out of the gate, the Crom just put him to the sword, and you're like, ooh. Well,
it didn't look good for the Dogs when the first goal they kicked ended up being a point. So, and it was all downhill from there. I actually lost interest in this game pretty much by halftime and was doing other stuff with it on. It was just crap. It really wasn't a great game.
Good to see Cody Waitman doing things again. What else? Geelong smoked the Gold Coast down there at Taxpayers Stadium. That was just abhorrent from the Suns. They just looked horrible. Yep. I was watching this at the pub, and I'm like, this is just my beloved Suns. What are we doing? It's not even that cold. What the hell, dude? What the hell? So that sucked. Cats back into form. So.
Lost interest probably earlier in the game, probably halfway through the second quarter. Jeez. So I was thinking, please don't be like this for the rest of the round. So,
Didn't get too much better. You were at this game. Melbourne 95, Essendon 50. Woof.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. We were pretty ordinary in the first half. Our third quarter, we actually looked like we tried, which was good. And then, Melbourne they're just the better side, as are 17 other teams in the comp right now. Thankfully, I was there with a mate and his 8-year-old son, and his 8-year-old son kept me entertained for the vast majority of the day. So with, the quirky stuff that 8-year-olds come out with. And, so I had something to keep me occupied because the footy certainly wasn't holding my interest. But
nice.
It was fun being at the G though, Jim. I always love going there.
It's always fun. I love going as a neutral. Like it's just you know what's really fun? Yeah. Being at the footy and I don't have to care.
It's almost better, but
almost, yeah. But when your team stink like ours do, it's no good. Then 3 of the final 4 games were the only close ones this week. North Melbourne 74, West Coast 73. Whoa, geez, it would have been helpful if the J Train, Jakey Waterman, kicked that goal. Ooh. I will tell you what, Jack Darling goes off against his old team as well, which is pretty funny.
What did he have, 4 in the first half or something like that?
Absolutely off his head. It was awesome. Suva was going ham as well. So, huge win for the Roos. For the simple fact it keeps their sort of season afloat. They're now 6 and 7 after that, and sort of puts a bit of a pin in the Eagles, who were looking sneakily not horrible, and then now they're 4 and 10, and that's all she wrote, folks. Bit of a tough one for the Eagles. I mean, you could tell really early, not having Jinby really made a big difference as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a pretty interesting, weird game. Good win for the Roos. They desperately.
I caught the second. I think most of the second half by the time I got home from the footy, and it was. You didn't think it didn't feel as close as it was, but at the same time, you're like, North are doing everything they can to lose this game.
Yep.
And as you mentioned, if the Eagles maybe had to have 1 or 2 of those injured fellas, Gibney or Gimby or whatever his name is, if he was in, I think he would have made a massive difference. And does Jack Darling get off the hook like he did if they've got him in the game? Don't know. So, but look, it's good to see teams that have been down the bottom for so long playing in games that actually mean something, at least for one team. So, I'm enjoying the Eagles and North, except for when they get flogged by 140 points. So.
Well, they were saved by the Simpkin tackle at the end as well, and then the Waterman miss. And so they sort of put up a desperation sort of fight after leading by like 20 in the fourth quarter or whatever it was. Pretty crazy. Speaking of leading and then blowing it, Port Adelaide lose 90-93 to the Sydney Swans, the heart-stopping kids. I don't know. Every game Sydney seem to play at the moment, they're just like, let's just make this as weird and as hard as possible. And, they just like basically stole the lead back at the start of the fourth quarter and just held on, essentially. It was crazy fun. You got the Hornet goal at the end, answered by the James Rowbottom one. It was absolutely on for young and old. And Jordan Sweet snags the one at the end to basically settle them down again.
He was clutch. But Butters was quiet. Like, he still ended up with 27, but by his standards, he was quiet and sort of I think was it who's Jordan? James Jordan kept him held for probably half the game, and then he worked his way back in, but didn't have the impact he has in other games. But I think that the one thing, the way I would, or the team in world sport, you could almost compare the Swans to at the moment is, remember a couple of years ago, the Kansas City Chiefs, when they played in the Super Bowl against Gaz's Eagles and got absolutely belted. That season, remember, they just kept winning by those really small margins, and Paddy Mahomes would just get them across the line with his weird Kermit the Frog voice. And, they just kept getting across. Sydney have got that feel about them where they're just doing enough to just get across the line. So I wonder if they might be headed for the same result when they play the other team that'll never lose again in the grand final. So
they do play in a couple of weeks as well, don't they? So this is going to be awesome. Great game. Sydney, unbelievable. They might never lose again, and apart from when they lose to Freo. Richmond put up a really good fight down at Hobart against Brisbane, 115-80. The Tigers, I think were down, it was very close at the half. And then
they were in front just before halftime.
Yeah, which is crazy. And then the Lions basically sort of held them all off. And I don't know. This is it's one of those ones where you're like, when is a win a loss? And like Carlton are specialists at this and have been all season, right? The Richmond win at the start of the year for Carlton was basically a loss. But this was, the Lions led by 3 at the half. And you're like, what is happening? And then they sort of managed just to keep them at arm's length the rest of the way, but it wasn't wildly convincing at all, Jez.
No, it was. I was sort of in and out watching bits and pieces of this game, and I think it looked to me like Brisbane just said, let's let the youth take care of this one, and all the senior fellas sort of just step back and let, the Ashcrofts and whatnot just go at it. And Will in particular, he'll pop up again a little bit later, but I thought the Tigers were, I guess, what would you call them, Jim? Plucky. Like they had a crack. Had a few good performances from the not yet household names. So I think they're going to be all right. Like they've got a lot of injuries, but I think Ooze is doing a good job.
Was it Alger who kicked like 4? I think in that one too, wasn't it? Yeah. Kicked more than Logan Morris. And then to finish off the round, the Saints hold off the GWS Greater Western Sydney Giants, 96-88, basically answering every goal that GWS kicked, just like desperately. Like you had an awesome sort of Naz moment at the end of that third quarter as well. A rollicking affair, as we like to say here on Footy Unfilterated. And
Ryan with 5.
What's he kicked 11 in the last 2 games, I think, which has matched his total from last season.
Crazy.
In 2 games, it's chaos.
Yeah. To be fair though, the 11 that he kicked last season was out of about 19 in total for the Eagles. So, we've got to play the percentages here.
Yep. But it was a good one. So I think the Saints desperately needed to win that, and the way they kind of answered every charge was pretty impressive. Because GWS, like I think we talked about this on last week's show, right? Their highs are the highest of highs, and their lowest, they probably have the biggest range week on week of any team that isn't like maybe the Suns, I guess. Because, I mean, we've seen them belt good teams. We've seen them lose to not very good teams, and here we are. So,
well, they put 14 goals in a quarter on the reigning premiers, and I think they've lost to West Coast this year.
Yeah. They're
So it's crazy.
6 and 7 and just outside the 10, obviously, because they're in 11th spot. But I don't know. The Carlton GWS game this week is going to be pretty, I don't know, instructive, I guess, for the rest of the season for both teams. And I don't like our chances.
Some would say it's an 8-point game, Jim.
Some would. And you have my permission to slap him in the back of the head. Right. Let's do some awards for this week. Gablett Areas, best on ground of the week of the ground on the best of the ground on the week. Mine was Jordan Dawson. He won that game for the Crom in the first 15 minutes. It was crazy. He was so good. I don't know, to the point where I think they actually brought it up on the broadcast a couple of times. I don't think there's too many higher rated quarters or halves of football you will see. He kicked 3 goals. He was absolutely everywhere. He was awesome. And I think maybe Naz could have come close for me late on Sunday. He was very good as well, but Jordan Dawson was absolutely unreal in that game. So he gets for me. How about you, Jez?
Oh, I'm going to go for, and I think this kid will be a Brownlow medalist one day, and it could be soon. Will Ashcroft, 38, 2 goals, 3. Probably should have kicked 4 or 5. As I said, I think the Lions, I reckon, Bags might have just said, "Hey, Lockie, boys, just step back and let's see what the young fellas do when it's on them." And I think Will just went, "Yeah, well, I'm ready," and a few others might have gone, "Oh, well, I think we're ready," but we went, "No, I'm ready. Let me do it. I'll do it. Come on, give me a go." So, and I thought he was pretty good. And then special mention to Flying Ryan with his second bag in a row. So he's that barometer it seems to be that barometer for the Saints. He's up and about and doing awesome stuff. They seem to be going all right. So
yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah. Who am I buying a beer this week? I love Jake Waterman, but yeah, he needs a beer after that one. Like just pumping it into the post from 30 meters out was a bit rough. Game on the line, 30 seconds or whatever it was left. It's just I do love the phrase "get around him." Obviously. I will get around the J train because
you're going to get around him.
He's one of my special few. I'm basically a full Missy Higgins. He's one of the special few. It's like the J train, Ned Moyle, my large adult son Jed Walter, a couple of others floating around. I love the J train, so I will shout him a tasty. I don't know, what was I drinking on the way? Oh yeah, we're putting away a bunch of the Stomping Ground lagers on Sunday. Ooh, yeah. So it's just a good drinking beer. So I might buy him a few of those. Yeah. How about you, Jess?
Very good. Well, I've got a couple. The first one, you've just mentioned him in the Gablett Areas, but watching the interview with Jordan Dawson after the game, and that bloke he's in a world of hurt with obviously what happened with his brother, and it's still very raw. Like they asked him about it, and it sort of feels like, give it a rest, guys. Yeah. Like it's clearly, you don't just forget about that sort of stuff in a month. But I feel like he's playing for his, and he did say he just wants him there, wanted him there, and misses him. And we've all lost people, and we all feel that way. So I'd love to buy him a beer and put my arm around him. I'm sure he's got plenty of people in Adelaide doing that for him. So, but he can have one whenever he wants it from Footy Unfilterated. But and the other one is I mentioned him as well in the game, but Adam Uze, I think he's doing a really good job, and I think he's, of all the coaches, he's probably, and I'm including Essendon in that, I think he's probably got the hardest task because of how young across the board and how raw his list is. So, like, yes, Essendon have got a buttload of injuries, but I think he's got a much younger list with a lot less experience there to help guide them, and I think he's doing a really good job. As shown, how many games have we seen this year where we've both sat here and gone, yeah, Richmond are going to get done by, there's no way they're covering the line, and then they come out and cover it, and are in the game for half. So I think they're heading in the right direction, and if he can keep the core of that list together, and add a couple of bigger name players in the next few years, they'll be back up there in a flash. So
yeah, definitely deserves a few. I don't know, conciliatory.
Jeez, it's hard at the moment. It must be hard at the moment.
It'd suck, wouldn't it? It'd be so brutal. Better than Bootsma this week. There's a couple of really good, I don't know, basically take your sort of pick, right? Like you had Marcus Herbert have a pretty great game for the Eagles on debut as well. It was very, very good. I think a bloke you're about to talk about. Hugo Hall-Katan, he's been very, very, very solid, I think, straight out of the gate for the Crom. He's just like out there causing all sorts of havoc and very much enjoyed his 23 touches. I knew it was over 20 as I was watching it. And I'm like, he is absolutely everywhere. It's like, I think there's like a special sort of footy nous often that you're like, when you're watching a game, you're like, he is just always near the ball. This seems important. It's like Hugo Hall-Katan in his like first couple of games. He is just absolutely everywhere, and I love him. So great.
And he's got a wicked name.
Great name.
Hugo Hall-Katan. Love it.
Kahan.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, Kahan.
Is it Kahan or Katan?
Kahan. Katan would be so much more badass, but Hugo Hall-Katan is like he does sound like, I don't know, like a Mongolian emperor from like the 8th century or something that like wiped out half of Europe. So it's not bad.
No, he's the warrior that was sent in to rescue the the kidnapped daughter of the emperor.
I think he might have been one of the Highlanders as well, right?
He probably still is.
There can only be one Hugo Hall-Katan. How about you there, Jez? Who's better than Bootsma for you?
Well, I've got a special mention to a bloke we mentioned earlier, Jasper Alger, with his 4 goals. Again, one of those young Richmond players who bobs up with a really good performance every so often. And yes, you were right. I was going to take him, Joel Fitzgerald, on debut for the D's. I think he ended up with 26 disposals. So again, he's that mature age, 22. Apparently, that's mature, but he was just, again, like you mentioned with old Hugo there, he was everywhere the ball was. So he has a really good ball sense, very similar to HHK. And, going to be interesting. My good mate Scott, who I was there with, he was very impressed with Joel Fitzgerald. And at a time where there's a lot of Demons players, he's not very impressed with. So, but, it was he was quite impressed with him. So, yes, that's who I'm taking for that. Have we missed one, Jim, or have you done this on purpose?
No, I'm just going to finish off with the Ben Mackay Spud of the week because I wanted to sort of stretch this out because now that Ben Mackay has gone forward, he had the wrap around the head this week as well. You're like, this is all
rugby league book.
He's a full rugby. I'm getting a bit worried that the Ben Mackay Spud of the Week award might get a bit above and beyond the Ben Mackays of the world, and we might already have to, like, halfway through the inaugural season of Footy Unfilterated, like, at least think about who else we could be renaming the Spud of the Week award after.
Now, let me stop you right there, Jim. I posted some footage of our very good friend Ben Mackay forgetting the rules of the game and just walking the ball over the line. He almost shepherded it and made sure nobody touched it in order for the Demons to receive a lasso free kick. If that's not enough proof that he's the ultimate Spud, no matter which end of the ground he's at, then the award stays put for now.
He also kicked.
Please carry on.
Well, he kicked 1 goal 3 from 6 touches for a game as well. It is very fun because they're like, oh, maybe he's the long-term sort of like solution next to Nate Caddy. I'm like, I don't think there's anything long-term about Ben Mackay at all. But anyway,
certainly not his memory.
So I've got a couple here. This was a big week for the Spuds. Bailey Humphrey did absolutely nothing. He's all yours, Jez. I think. He wants to come.
He's going to Carlton.
Come down to Victoria.
He's going to Carlton.
I'm like,
I've heard he's already signed a 5-year, $900 million deal.
He is.
We'll trade you for Ben Mackay.
He is horribly perfect for Carlton as well, and I would talk myself into that in a heartbeat, and I hate it so much. He was so bad on the weekend. The other one is my beloved Adam Treloar. I do love Adam Treloar. He's a fan of NBA Australia. He's an old, dead set legend. Got a lot of time for him. He just hasn't looked right since he came back, and he basically sat.
It's sad.
And he just
really sad.
Sat on the bike like the week prior, and just hasn't looked good at all.
I don't think they played him in the last quarter against Adelaide because they were. He obviously doesn't have confidence in all of his ailments and they keep carrying on about it on the broadcast that he looks like he's afraid to go. And I think if that's the case, I would love to see him just go, you know what, maybe I'll pull the pin now, because if they get some of these players back, like Libba will take his spot straight up. So, maybe say, hey, fellas, I think that's it for me. Give me one more farewell game against a shit team and then go and live out your days playing one-off games all around the state and country for 5-10 grand a pop, like Fed's been doing for 15 years. So,
yeah.
But yeah, all reports he's a great bloke. Like he's been coaching junior footy the whole time through his career down at Noble Park. I don't know if he still does, but he did for a long time. And yeah, just a ripping bloke from all reports.
Yeah,
so
love Treloar.
Sad to see.
The other one I wanted to sort of throw in there, this is like more of a, more of a Spud hand grenade. Tom Morris, the esteemed, weird, just absolute, I don't know if I've found anyone more slimy in AFL media.
Sam McClure would be close.
Yeah, there's a sliminess to Morris, though, that I think McClure is just there's a different, McClure's a dunderhead because he's got a massive bonce on him and he's a dunderhead, right? Morris is just a slimy weirdo. Mitch Cleary's a massive dork, but he's good because he's just like very straight down the line. I'm a giant dork. And you're like, well done. But Morris is just a weird, slimy. Anyway.
David Zeta's like John Ralph from Timu.
I love John Ralph from Wish. What happened? Petrarca goes to Gold Coast. And suddenly, halfway through a season, we've already got leaks about, geez, the playing group doesn't seem so sold on the coaching here. And then suddenly you got the coaches going, I'm not so sold on the playing group. Meanwhile, everything's hunky-dory at Melbourne. Jez. Interesting stuff. We'll do the drop because it is that interesting.
Interesting stuff.
Really makes you think. So I'm just saying, Petrarca, I love him. He's awesome. He had 21 and one goal, I think. He wasn't wildly influential or anything that game, but just saying, just keep an eye on that situation up there in Gold Coast.
Cook's a mean payer.
Yeah. Great chef, but I don't know. Who's your spud of the week there, Jez?
Well, aside from Ben Mackay for previous mentioned reasons, it's going to be Big Jesse Hogan. So to half-time, he had 3 touches and hadn't hit the scoreboard. He ended up with about 10 touches and a goal, but the goal came very, very late in the day. And so much so that Adam Kingsley's coach pretty much threw him under the bus and said, yeah, I probably should have dropped him for this week. So I think you'll find that those tools you were worried about this week might not include one Jesse Hogan.
Fingers crossed. Because I feel like he could tear us up this week, but I don't know. Hopefully they drop him.
Because it wasn't last year that he won the Coleman or the year before, but he's coming off of back-to-back 50, 60 goal plus seasons, and he's gone back to playing like he did at Fremantle.
Yeah, it's a good call. Good call. Right, let's do some quick yeah-nahs very quickly. We already sort of hit on this one. Do we need clarifying memos from the AFL? Yeah, nah.
Could you just send me a memo to clarify whether nah.
Are Gold Coast, I've already answered this a lot, but are Gold Coast frauds this year here, Jez? 3 straight losses. Obviously, my thing is when they play above the 27th parallel, they're all good. The only time they have lost, I think, of those games above the 27th parallel was, I believe, to the Lions in the Q clash. The other one was down here to maybe in Tassie, wasn't it? Against the Roos and then at GMHBA. So basically...
Marvel.
Oh, was that at Marvel? Yeah.
I think it was at Marvel.
That's right. It was at Marvel. So they've gone...
When they stopped playing.
Yeah. They've lost to Roos at Marvel, had the bye, lose the Q clash, and then lose at GMHBA. I am a bit worried. I'm not going to lie, but what do you think? Frauds?
Based on current evidence, I'm going to say yeah. Until they show us that they can actually win when it doesn't suit them, They're good. They're good. They're great when the conditions and the play style and all the stuff works for them. But as soon as something doesn't work, they turn to absolute garbage. So, and at the moment, it sounds like, there's a bit of a bin fire about to be lit. And I think they need a couple of really good wins against, even if it's not against great opposition, but maybe, like you said, below the 27th parallel, a couple of wins away from home where they don't win. Just A, to put them back on track, and B, to show everyone that actually they can play good team footy, because they looked awesome opening round and round one. I genuinely thought they were a shot at finishing top four. Now I think they'll scrape into the 10 the way they're playing.
I think the big problem
they've probably done enough to keep themselves probably around that 8, 9, 10 position, but
yeah, I'm
they wouldn't want to lose too many more.
Because I think the big problem is I don't think they've got a game against like too many bad teams remaining, and they've got, I think for the next couple of weeks, obviously this week they play the Hawks. The following week I think they have Freo. Yeah, that's right, over in Freo. And, it could get pretty bad pretty quickly, and then they host the Pies. So 3 interesting weeks coming up. But anyway, I still believe I'm going to make sure I get tickets to I think I'm around for that Suns game down here against the Blues. Anyway, we've got a Freo Geelong game this week, Jez. Now, is that or Round 18's Thursday night clash between Freo and Sydney a grand final preview already? Yeah, nah.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I think it's Freo, but I think it could be any one of the Swans, the Hawks, and the Cats right now.
Yep.
I don't think anyone else, and I'm including Brisbane in anyone else at the moment, can match it with Freo right now. I think the Hawks look the best against them so far.
Yep.
But obviously injuries didn't help, and I think the way the Hawks have managed their injuries has probably been the best out of teams that have, struggled with injury. And they've had a few. Well, they've obviously had Gunston out for a bit, and they've had, rolling injury issues with at both ends of the ground and in the middle. And I think they've probably dealt with it the best as far as their win-loss has gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it could be, but I think the only part of it that is, in my mind, almost a guarantee is that Freo will be there.
Feels right.
Or should I say Flagmantle?
Flagmantle. Woofy time. Right, let's do a round 15
Woofy
preview. All right. Round 15, we do get a belter on Thursday night. It is Fremantle, Flagmantle, Woofy time. Minus 14.5 against the Cats over there in Freo. 8:10 p.m. start for your Thursday night. Jeez. 14.5.
I don't like that.
14.5 feels a little bit sort of terrifyingly bang on against the Cats. I don't really trust the Cats to travel. I'm going to take Freo, I think, to keep up their... What is it? They're on, the record pace for the team in history. So it's 12...
13 in a row?
Yeah, and they could conceivably get Sarong back this week, Matthew Johnson. There's like 4 or 5 other dudes pushing for a game, and they're basically back to full strength, I think, apart from Sean Darcy, who's also basically back. So we don't know if Tom Stewart's going to play either, so I'm going to go the Dockers.
Well, they haven't lost a game since they last played
the Cats.
Geelong, and even then they were in the box seat to win it and put the bed.
Yep.
It's Woofy time.
All right.
I'm going Freo.
Nice one. Then we've got a cracker. Friday night. I love this game. Gold Coast Hawthorn. Sign me up. At People's First Stadium up there, Carrara. The Suns, my beloved Suns, are 4.5-point underdogs above the 27th parallel. Give me the Suns every day. I don't feel great about this one, but I'm going to take the Suns anyway.
Taking the whole... That's way too close.
It is, isn't it?
Hawthorn for me.
Yeah.
I, unlike you, don't have any faith in your beloved Suns.
They might get Jamari Ugle-Hagan back this week. I feel like that's not going to make much difference. Witsy might be back as well. They rolled with Ned Moyle last week, and that didn't go great. So, I don't know. I think this is me putting a little bit of trust in the 27th parallel more than anything, and we'll see how we go.
That's as good a reason as any.
That's right. My birthday, Saturday. This is a big one.
Hey, happy birthday to you.
Will be full of barbecued meats, beer, and footy. So it's going to be a pretty good day. We start off with Adelaide hosting the Demons at Adelaide Oval, 1:15 Saturday start. This is a surprisingly excellent game, and it screams Saturday afternoon in the sunshine, like the half sunshine with Adelaide Oval getting a little bit of shade later on in the game. 17.5 feels a little bit generous, I think, to the Crom, but they were so good this week that it's hard to really tip against them, because I know the Demons, one of the other nars I did want to throw out maybe was like, are they just MCG specialists, the Demons? What are they, 8-0 there this year now, which is crazy. So, I don't know. Can they keep this one close? Can they even win it? What do you think, Jess?
I think they can potentially. Adelaide was so good though on Friday night, away from home too, and I think they might have finally turned that corner that they've been threatening to do for weeks and weeks and weeks. So I think Melbourne can, but I reckon that Crom are probably going to win it by about 4 or 5 goals. I think it'll be a good game for 3 quarters.
Yeah, I've got Adelaide as well.
And then the Crom will just go, you know what? We're better than you. Bang.
Yeah. Like, no Harrison Petty for the Ds. Rankin coming back probably for the Crom. I think Adelaide have got that one. I have a booking for 4 p.m, so I'm going to miss the start of this game. GWS Carlton. I do not feel bad about missing the start of this game, because all they could do is raise my hopes and then dash them quite expertly. Whereas if I get halfway through this game...
Hey! That was the old Carlton.
That's right.
The new Carlton have not lost.
No. Might never lose
in the
again.
Josh Fraser era.
Now, I am actually... Their 15.5-point favourites are the Greater Western Sydney Giants. I am probably going to take Carlton anyway. They disappointed me horribly on my birthday last year when they lost to North Melbourne, which was the world's... If you needed to know the exact moment of last season where I lost complete faith in my football team, it was then. I then got righteously hammered that night, so it was pretty good. But 15.5, I don't know. Like, I think the way that, as scrappy as GWS have been, Carlton fans know that the turning point of the entire Voss era was the immaculate first quarter that they played against GWS in like round 17, 24. And I was sitting outside the Brunswick Railway Hotel with the kids watching this going, this is great. And then it starts to turn. I'm like, we're going home. And it was horrible.
Get the car.
Just like, nah, this is it. This, I do wonder, like the Carlton fan in me is like, the really cool part would be if this is the switcheroo turning point and this is where they actually just keep winning. I don't know if they will, but I think they can keep it close. I'm going to take the plus 15.5 for the Blues. How about you, Jez?
I feel like this is the on week for GWS because they seem to be an off and on team. However, I think there's a bit of pressure on this game for both of them because I think whoever loses, it might be Dunskies. Because what are we now? We're around 15. So after this week, we've got 9 games remaining.
Yep.
And I think if the more teams like them, those two, and then your Collingwoods, who we're going to talk about shortly, the Bulldogs, say Kilda even, who are, they're probably ahead of this mob, North Melbourne, the more they lose now, the harder it's going to be to get it back later in the year. So I think if Carlton can snag one here, that's going to set them up for a really interesting end of the season. And same with the Giants, like they've been ordinary up until the last few weeks and then lost one last week that they would have felt got away from them. I'm going to take the Blues as well to cover. I think this is going to be an absolute cracker.
Yeah,
and I think it might be within a goal. So I hope so, anyway.
It is like a big one. As you said, so Carlton are like basically one win behind GWS and St Kilda and the Roos. So, yeah, it's a pretty big swing game where it sort of would bump GWS just that little bit up above that next tier of Carlton and Power and even the Pies.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive juggle between probably, I reckon, from maybe as high as 6 through to 12, possibly 13 for the rest of the season. I reckon we'll see that section of the ladder just jumble around as teams win and lose, and then percentage is going to. It's going to be the closer it gets, Jim, the more excited I am to see how this wild card plays out, because now we're looking at teams like this game, for example, would be basically they're definitely done because it's a top 8. But now you've got those 2 extra spots, and all of a sudden it's not just 2 extra spots; it brings another 3 or 4 teams into it, because now that it gives those teams who are in 11, 12, 13, maybe even 14, depending on how it rolls, a sniff if they win a couple of games. So, yeah, I think the Blues are going to keep this one close, and I reckon it'll be out. I'll be, when this kicks off, I'll be freezing my nuts off at Gordon, which you would know very well.
I know Gordon way too well, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And it's the forecast is for 11 degrees, so...
No, thank you.
Yeah, can't wait.
So that's 11 versus 14 on the ladder. And then Saturday night we have 13 versus 15. So it's another of these sort of swing games where you got the Pies in the Prison Bars clash, right? The Pies versus the Power. 13.5 point favourites of the Pies, which is... It feels like it's
pretty high. It
is a little bit high, considering that the Pies have won one of their last 4 games. It's a bit of having lost to the Demons on that King's birthday game. It is the Power at the G. I guess that's the only sort of query I've got. And I don't know. What are you thinking here, Jez?
I'm thinking that Port Adelaide could have been a better than good side this year, but they've just lost. And in the sense of lost, they've actually lost the games. They haven't been beaten. They've lost games they could have, should have won. And from winning positions, they've lost quite a few this year. And I think they'll probably lose again, but I think they'll keep it within that spread of minus 13.5. So I'm going to go Port to cover. The other thing too is I heard an announcement. There's a raffle at the ground, and the winner, the lucky fan that wins the raffle, will get their choice of a full dental implants or bail money. Non-refundables. Make sure you buy your tickets. If you see there'll be people out there in blue with a little emblem there and high vis, go see them. They'll write you a ticket, and good luck.
Best of luck to all who enter. All right.
I believe second prize is an overnight stay at somewhere on St Kilda Road.
I'm going to take the Pies. I think there's probably just enough there that they get over the Power, especially at the G. So there we go. 2 of the great fan bases. Sunday, Richmond host North Melbourne. This is one that I'm like, wait a minute, I probably have to check where this is. Now
is it in some random part of the world?
Now Richmond plays.
It's not Ballarat, is it?
It's just the way that Richmond out of nowhere played at Hobart last week. It's like, what? No, this one's at the G. It's one of the random trips. One of the random trips that North actually have to the MCG. So that's kind of fun. The Tigers are 18.5 point underdogs, and I think that is far too skinny. I'm taking the North Melbourne Kangaroos, who I think, despite coming back from the West, probably turn around and just put the boot into the Tigers here. What do you reckon, Jez?
Yeah, I think this is a kind of game North need, one where they can play with a little less pressure that they've had on them over the last probably 5 or 6 weeks, and just free the arms a little bit and get out there and boogie. So I think you'll see maybe a big bag of goals from Suva or someone like that. Yeah, I think 18.5 will be. I think it'll probably be close for a quarter and a bit, and then North will flex their muscles and run away with it.
Yep. Nice one. And then we finish off with a really, my favourite thing this season has been you can almost tell which teams are going to play in exactly which time spots. And as I update our Footy Unfilterated run sheet with our picks and everything each week, the Sunday afternoon game just stays St Kilda.
Crazy, isn't it?
Richmond, early Sunday. Or it's like a night game, right? Against like Essendon or somebody. The Port Adelaide, always like an evening game, whether it be a Friday or a Saturday. Thursdays or Fridays, it's like a Geelong game. Gold Coast and night. Yeah, it's hilarious. So St Kilda taking on the Dogs at Marvel, 3:15 on Sunday. This is an absolute ripper of a game all of a sudden. It's 10th versus 8th, and the Saints are favoured by 1.5 points. So basically, who do you reckon is going to win? The Dogs, after a disappointing beatdown, like having played some pretty great football up until then. This is a worrisome game if the Dogs don't get up here, Jez.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I think the Saints are going to get over the top. I think the injuries, even though they've managed to come through it, I think this is that second wave where the injuries. I heard something about Bont maybe carrying an injury because he was pretty ordinary too. So yeah, I think the Saints have won, 3 in a row now? Oh, no, sorry, they lost to the Swans by a point. Should have won that.
Should have won it.
They've had some close games, and I think it's going to be another close one, but I'm going to go with the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going to go with St Kilda as well because I just don't trust the Dogs at the moment. They've just looked very underwhelming, and it's like I think the win that they had, so they had won 3 straight. So the win over Hawthorn was awesome at the G. They had the great win over Collingwood and a great win over the Ds. All 3 awesome wins, and then just absolutely no-showed that Adelaide game. And you just sort of left me with a bit of a bitter taste in the old mouth. So I might just stick with the Saints here, who haven't been awesome, but I think they can probably get that. The buys this week, it's Brisbane, your Bombers, Sydney.
Go Dons.
Sydney and West Coast. So
can't lose this week.
It's a good mix, actually, of like 2 bad teams and 2 good teams.
Yeah, Brisbane and Sydney are pretty ordinary.
The picks tracking at the moment, I think Jez is still up either by 2 or 3. I've actually got to update the spreadsheet, but we basically split the difference from last week. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, Slevo's Punters Club.
Slevo.
For round 15, my pick last week of Bont 25 plus and 2 goals. No good.
No.
Which is a bit of a bummer, but you get that on the big jobs.
You do.
It was like a weird one because, like, I mean, as I said, right, the Dogs, it should have been like this big free-flowing affair, and he had 29 touches. He did not kick a goal, and I think, like, the rest of the Dog stuff, you had, like, Norton could barely get near the ball early. Artie Jones had 1 or 2. Waitman had, obviously, that first one pulled back, but I don't know. The rest of this round, I very much want to go like a big Luke Jackson game or something for the Dockers against the Cats and their ruck stocks. So I might maybe 20-1 for Luke Jackson. It might be not that great though. So I could also just go Suva 4+. He's hit a nice little purple patch here, so I love me some big Suva snags. Let's go Suva 4+ goals against the Tigers.
I like it, Jim.
What about you, Jez?
I am going to go with Paddy Cripps, 25 and a goal.
Ooh, not bad.
And I think it's probably not that great, but I suppose you could probably throw in maybe throw the Carlton lot to cover the line as well in on there, and you'll probably get a little bit extra value. So, but I think he's going to be the key to that game if he can have that impact in the middle with the clearances. That'll go, and since his good mate Michael got told to pack his bags, he's been unreal, and that's what the difference has been. Is he's been winning the ball out for him out of the middle. So
yeah,
I'd like to see another big game, and I think a big game from Cripps equals a Carlton win.
Yeah, I just wonder if he gets Toby Bedforded.
I don't know if Toby Bedford can be that impactful on him because he's such a contested
big,
ball
right?
beast.
Yeah.
I think that Bedford would probably go to Sam Walsh.
And sort of shut him down, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a bit more sense. Yeah. Nice. All right. I think that might be it.
That's it.
Oh, my God.
Woo.
I'm going to press the button. Well, there you go. That is round 14 done, in the bag, more than halfway through your footy season. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more bits and bobs popping off. We've still got the NBA draft coming up, so I'm a little bit busy still for the next week and a bit. But otherwise, round 15 previews right there. So follow us on whatever socials you're all about. I don't think I'm putting up the power rankings last week. I found myself at Friday night Auskick, desperately trying to figure out how to do it on my phone. I'm like, nah, this is just not happening. And so that didn't go great. Yeah. But we will have other stuff. Don't you worry about that. So make sure you subscribe across all your podcast apps, your YouTube, all the good stuff. Jump in the comments. Send us through some specific nars if you've got any. And go absolutely ham. Sending us DMs or in the comments, just, do some stuff.
Get around us.
Oh, yeah.
Get around us.
All right. Anything else there, Jez, you want to throw in there? Plug? Say anything about?
Go Bombers. We can't lose this week. Get around us. Get around Footy Unfilterated. Send us some nars. We really love them when you send them in. So get around us and we'll get around you.
Yeah. I think the nars are usually just me going, what is the thing that's stuck in the front of my mind from footy this week? And there's certainly a lot more to delve into. But that's it. All right. Until next week, stay off the rubbish gear. This is Footy Unfilterated. We'll see you next time.
Peace.